That Astralis wanted to go with. Watch as well. Zipix tag to 7. Goes for the peek. Olaf nails him through the wood of all things with a Glock.
Yeah, he was by himself as well. So quick rotation from the CTs, but it's going to be a strike towards Arch and a banana split coming in here, Matt. Towards B side we go.
Good play from Dennis to turn back and find Device. He's the closest to be able to catch them, and Flush is going to wait for rotations in the form of Kierby inside of the site. Glaive already found. Dupree and Kierby together have to rotate through Banana. No other access. What a great start from Fnatic as well to run that risk of trying to rotate back through CT, and Dupree closest to the site, down before the smoke blooms, limits off Kierby. Flusha, having waited to watch from A, knows he's already gone to Banana. He's on the flank, immediately sneaks into the wall, and Kierby had heard him but has lost track of him. Goes looking, looks the wrong way, does manage to recover. He's got it down to a 1 versus 2, and there's ample time left to still make a play if he goes quick enough. But no kit in his hands, and the bomb continuing to tick. Best he can hope for at this point in time is more frag distribution, more frag money, I should say, for him. As the USP has been picked up on either side against him, he's got no chance. He'll back off of this. Round's going to go the way of Fnatic.
Pretty textbook round there from Fnatic overall. Astralis, that's quite standard on the CT side, though. You play one person towards the banana side.
Down toward the tree position instead. And we saw that JW flash out of apartments off the chimney. That's the new flash that exists. You could pop out. He tried to use it to bait out some shots from anyone on top of balcony, but instead, he just walks in and finds Device. I hold my breath because it looked like he may get vision toward the front of library as well. That's where Zipix is rotating into, and he's only got 39 HP to play with, so has to be a little bit careful of his position. Goes past Moto and in toward the side. He's got a lineup. JW comes out better though in the end, only just. JW gets tagged on the 25. It was the damage done early to Zipix that cost him, but it's Glaive and Kierby on rotation on cue, and Glaive with the aggression that's going to pull this back. Flusha, 5 seconds, has to go for plan. He's off it. It's done. Round over so long as he doesn't find the kills. They know he's peaked. They know they can sit back, and it's done at that. Oh, you got to be very careful not to go down after the Chad would say diggity. Can be smoked off. JW again above has AWP, and he wants to try and find opening toward the library position. No one yet has walked out from that angle, and because of that, we know there's 3 inside of the A site. Glaive has gone back over to B, late smoke down. But bomb is heading that direction. 29 seconds. Dennis and JW need to make a convincing case right now to pull Glaive off B and leave Zipix there alone. Glaive's anticipating it, he's considering it. Only now JW and Dennis will go. They spot off one immediately, but Kierby's in the corner. That's handled well. Glaive, he's bought it. He's gone, and Zipix has gone passive. Now makes the call. They are inside of B, and a kill from Olaf is far greater than that of Kierby's offsite kill, because now bomb goes down. He has position out toward the tree. He can hold off inside of the smoke. They know he's there, and he tries to beat them in rotating back in toward Chapel. But Glaive's on the case. Still, though, it's a very tough retake. JW's just getting in position toward the bottom of Banana. It's Glaive, Kierby, Dupree that are close by. And an AWP from JW is going to sit back top Banana and hold towards CT. Catches Dupree on entrance. Gives Flusha the confidence to peek to see if one more is in that position. There certainly is. So the AWP of JW can still hold that off, but it's Glaive that finds another. Kierby to follow it up, and now JW just has to watch the bomb. Smoke goes, oh, what a shot on Glaive, and he's got the lineup. Kierby low HP. Olaf on 3. Flusha on 15 on a Mac 10. That could be a problem.
That was looking very good, that Mac 10 buy, but now this situation, the low HP, doesn't look as tantalizing. So 2-on-2 in terms of the setup for Astralis. On the B side, 2 towards B. I think we have a bit of more commitment from Device, though. He's actually looking aggressively towards top and middle. There he is. But no one to be found as of yet. They will be possibly executing towards B. Still a lot of potential for that. Smoking the coffins towards City Spawn, Molotov oranges. But they might have been in a contact play. JW nails that first.
That's huge, and they check Zipix as well. Both clean entries, never mind execution. It's just straight up entry kills, and Astralis.
Yeah, it's gutting, look at the damage.
Yeah, they're left sitting with nothing to fight for. They have to save on this, even though, as you say, they don't even add up to 100, all 4 of them together. Yeah. 3, 15, 20, and 15 for the Fnatic 4 players remaining. That's impressive.
That is kind of classic Fnatic, isn't it? The fact that they've got so much map control and an advantage, they still just walk into a bomb site. They've got the audacity to do that. And JW, he seems like he's kind of found some really amazing form right now with the AWP. It kind of lacked for a long time, but now he's hitting those classic shots once again. Device.
They'll need that.
Sorry?
They will need that as well.
They will definitely need that with this team. It's obviously been an interesting project. The bells are homage to them. You did spot a bell earlier.
There is a new little, like, almost like an old school doorbell inside of the spawn.
Can you shoot it? Do you know? It's such a cool strategy. If you can make this work, the CDs have such a difficult time holding this off.
And Astralis gave it to them, so as such, Zipix knows, and you're right, he's going to have such a difficult time. Flashes go in, that's far behind Zipix, so it lands at his feet. By crosshair placement, look at Kierby! He's got the only gun! And they fancy Banana, but there's Zipix waiting. That's exactly why you leave the op there.
Yep. Absolutely. They seem to be really invested in this idea of keeping one player towards B. The idea of he can keep one and get one kill there and fall back, that's perfect. And he's done it so far. Glaive boosted up in CT spawn, and Zipex wants a little bit more here. Not known to be an AWPer, but misses that second shot, but here we go. The commitment comes in.
Glaive is there. In the smoke, has one. He's going to hold station because you could drop off that so quickly. It's taken down by Crims as a result of it, but it's Crims in a 1 versus 3, and this time, make no mistake about it, Astralis will go. Nearly spray through as well to deny the immediate plant inside at Orange's 1. Double flash, Crims spotted surely toward the back of the fountain. He's trying to find the orange dotted line to get this bomb planted. Forget all else. Baits in one more, nearly gets the lineup, but KRB pushes from CT, and that'll make it another round.
Towards the end of apartments. It's quite rare these days to see CT presence towards the end of those apartments. That was quite common in the previous version, but Rush comes in.
Device did very well to buy himself some space in that situation because fully flashed off, KRB couldn't commit to it, and now it's dupreeh to rotate over. Glaive arrives as well. Good crossfire set, tight position for the op. They make it work for one. They'll grab that immediately.
For the Swedes, we'll see what happens.
Olaf's starting to look from quad. That'll pull KRB's attention. Might leave him exposed as well. dupreeh going down. It's Device that has to hit shots because KRB's gone. He has bomb. He's dropped it. It's in his vision, but smoked off and can't hit the shot before the bloom. That might be enough to save Fnatic in the round. This flush up, doing the damage, allows his teammate to plant the bomb. Glaive's already arrived, and no smoke in front of Library because there isn't one available to the T side. Means he can try and take advantage early, but Zipex making noise at quad has Olaf trying to flank around behind from Boiler, so he needs to kill fast, and Flusha beats him to it from Graveyard. Glaive alone. And I said it was a round they desperately needed on the Fnatic side.
At least just rattling off some shots there, but takes quite heavy grenade damage. That's got to be fully through the smoke.
100%.
I want to see
Tracers, perhaps.
Yeah, what's happened there?
That's pretty sick. Device, is flashed off. They don't go his direction. He elects to flash himself back toward Library. He's going to play this with dupreeh. Again, they go for the smoke execution, but it's Device that has a gap in it, finds it, and dupreeh capitalizes even further. So these smokes that Fnatic, they do cover off pit, but they still aren't perfect because they allow so much freedom of movement.
Just about gets away with his life.
Flash out, blinds 3 as Glaive tries to walk in behind them. They get their vision restored, and thankfully no one peeked in the meantime. It's Olaf, limited, new box, can't find shots, damage done, and already he's pushed back in. I was corrected during our halftime as well. These are coffins, not caskets, based on their shape. It's Dennis that's going to be placed inside of one, not before getting Device down, but watch JW trying to walk in from CT. He gets caught off, and it leaves Flusha and Crims. Damage further onto Glaive. He's on 4 HP. He's trying to play for information at this point in time. Bomb planted. And they've got a triangulated position upon it with no one walking up banana, which means dupreeh can start to look toward Flusha, puts his head down. He's so low on HP, he has to just stay alive. They found Glaive. That was inevitable, but that's what dupreeh can do. Pops back up timely, takes Flusha out, knows Crims walking in from CT, and the crossfire set, has to switch guns! Nails it with 1 bullet, but dupreeh's able to time this.
Sunny works.
1 and done. 100% accuracy in the rounds.
Maybe we'll smoke that now. Okay, full back.
So UMPs plus an AK and a man down already. Armor on everyone on the Fnatic side. We know the UMP does have decent penetration, but the helmets specifically of Dennis and JW will thwart it to some extent. And they've got 1 further nade for Flusha still to deploy. As well as a flash for Crims. Meanwhile, Astralis still want to set inside of Banana. 4 players set and ready to go. dupreeh and KRB seem to want to lead the charge. KRB's the one with the bomb as well. Very passive angle from Crims to play. Back toward Ruins. Olaf checking out toward his left at new box. Is going to be blinded, but finds another. Still with 100% accuracy. 2 1-digs. And he's got more heads to fire at. That one's a whiff, but not really. He's just trying to get information and a pre-fire in his Device. Doesn't finally put him down, but it's Crims that's going to follow up. Flush has arrived on the scene, and it's down to Zipex. They're overwhelmed. Fnatic steal away, and Eco.
1 flash was to go in. How do you hold this off? We'll see whether they have what it takes.
This boost is certainly one way to do so. You get the kill, you drop down. I'm still not convinced. I love that boost position, but a gap in the smoke, and Olaf's found 2 to the 1 that Device has pulled back for his team. Astralis, they're going to plant immediately as well. On the inside of the coffin, smoke down, flash through. They can immediately catch off dupreeh. They don't quite find him inside of it. Device, he gets Olaf before they can solve that problem. So now dupreeh spars off against Dennis. JW falls to Device, and it's table's turn. It's now the advantage for, or temporarily, Astralis. In the middle of all that, somehow Flush has stayed alive toward new box.
Actually spot Device there. The flames, actually, the incandescence of them blocking Device's vision. He gets taken down. And Crims now looking for more. Not just happy with 1, it seems.
Crims waiting with his back into the wall, or looking away rather from where the action was, anticipating a flash, won't have it arrive. So he'll fall back in the site. They're early to anticipate A as a strike, so it's Olaf that gets on Speedway, as it was formerly known. I'm sure it still is called that. They're trying to go for this boost. I asked you about this.
Yeah, it's possible. Definitely possible.
I have to look at that from an outside perspective. I'm wondering what they were clipping, if it was the door frame or not. But you get on that, then you can jump over. Yeah, it was the edge of the door frame. If you jump over it onto the top of quad, so you can now approach that in a much different fashion. Flash is going both directions. Inside of the site, there's 2 to wait. And it's going to be Dennis finding the first. Flushes there as well. Flushes yet to peek. Does now. Takes down Kierby. And there's Zipix just remaining against 5. And I think the X-ray paints are close indeed for dupreeh. Both low on HP. But no longer a cart, no longer a one-way smoke to take advantage. It does slow Astralis considerably, and he's done better in the exchange, given the HP for Astralis after all of that.
Well, they've noticed there were no HE grenades in the previous rounds. They've gone for that fast banana take. An equal exchange, but have taken a lot of damage. Not necessarily a big deal against these double orbs. And dupreeh, is he pushing through the smoke? I believe he is. JW actually nails a shot there, I think. Doesn't get the frag, but Olaf Meister helps him out. And the orbs is lighting up Astralis here.
Beautiful stuff from Olaf. Falls back tactically behind this smoke as well, as the bomb plant will be conceded. But double up, 2 AK, and now just one more to find. They need to play as a unit because of that double up setup. And dupreeh, blinded off, finds one chance. Nearly as they ran into his crosshair, but he can't catch the second kill. And then it's just a matter of numbers, I guess. Run him down as everyone. That's a change in variation. But speaking of AWPs, it's Olaf that finds the first pick. And it's against none other than Device. So one of the 2 ops bought up, one of the 4 in the round overall, downed already. And without further ado, without any delay, and 51 seconds left on the clock, they'll give up Banana at least momentarily and consider A site altogether, because Olaf, I think, is a bit of a threat they don't wish to engage upon.
Indeed. It's Olaf finding that first frag and takes down a huge scalp in terms of Device, and JW given a chance there, can't quite land it, but he'll still be holding the line, and the flashbang will come in and force him to go back, but he still wants a little bit more, and he takes down Zipix in the process.
Oh, he may get another. He's still got a lineup. Finally, a smoke blooms, and as it does, Glave's looking the wrong way. They walk out from Library, and it's Dennis that's going to give Fnatic the upper hand and perhaps the round. And I think that's confirmed. dupreeh heading for the hills to save the AWP. They don't yet need to fully save, but to keep an op up, I think they would, based on the economy. And now it becomes a problem. Fnatic had money left over. I thought he was going to get perilous in the corner where it looked like he was going to be the menace of all.
That was so unlucky. It was such a good position to be in as well. He'd snuck in there. Fnatic didn't even consider it. They thought they'd locked it out with the incendiary, then the smoke, and Device, he gives it up. He gives the first frag towards Fnatic, and Olaf Meister once again, the person who opens up the fragging here. Glaive.
Ooh.
Yeah, those flames, just about getting away with it.
Some asbestos stored inside those barrels.
Yeah.
Flames don't go through.
Well,
keep in mind, this is not just map point for Fnatic, it's break point Astralis. If they bring this back, it's 14-14, both teams still with guns.
Indeed. 5 and 4 for now, 35 seconds remaining. What have we got left? 2 smokes, a few flashbangs towards B, all in at this point. I think we have a player boosted in CD spawn as well. He could be a thorn in their side. It's Crims waiting.
Crims waiting indeed on the boost. Doesn't drop down though. That's why I think as soon as it's won, it's done. Get down, because they instantly pre-fire it. dupreeh gets the headshot. Kierby follows it. It brings it to 3 versus 3. But the HP's limited. Flush up.
No.
He's got it lined up. Bomb denied. 14 seconds. They have to go for it. He's got a Molotov on top as well. dupreeh. He's going to be forced to oranges too, and Flash is going over. They have all the chance in the world to push on. He goes for utility after. Kierby, he's top banana. He's expecting a flank. There's 3 in the site. And Fnatic are waiting for the flames to extinguish so they can immediately get on the defuse. All 3 of them have kits.
Done.
Smoked off as Kierby. That's round.
Yeah, but there's no options for him whatsoever here.
Players he can't even see. Every bullet that's hit him has been through the edge of a wall. Crims, he gets Kierby. Starting off perhaps the signaling of the end for Astralis, who have not had an easy day in groups thus far. Glaive, Tempting Fate gets away with it. Molotov to Library. JW setting for it though. Finds Glaive on the way by. Open doorway. And you can read all the books you like, but you can't fool JW inside of one of them. He'll shut it upon you, and immediately outside the door looks for more. Device goes down. He did pick up a kill to give Zipix further chances, but a 1 versus 3. Tight angle to play on the site. AK in hand and looking toward top middle as JW positions. That'll lock him down. If he plays this correctly with the boxes as the smoke dissipates, he may find more. Gets 1 through it. Olaf down, and he'll transfer into pit, so he's got a bit of a chance still as the angle starts to favor. But watch the trade. If he goes for Crims, JW should jump over, finds Crims. JW's not close enough. It's only 30 HP. He goes immediately to the site instead. And Zipix doesn't have the lineup. He's tapped at JW. He's not staying on it. AWP in hand, though. And how does the smoke play? Because JW's watching the right side. This time, surely. Stays on it. Not quite. Goes for the pistol. And Zipix pulls back against 3. don't know if I'd want to tempt him into a third shot. So instead, they'll force him out of position by way of flash. Dennis is there to support the bottom pit. Headshot lineup, but the flash time is perfect, and Xyp9x gets 2 on the way through. Keeps them alive, gives them a chance. He might just get them in toward overtime as Device plants default. A UMP in hand. It's 2 AKs still available as well. And speaking of UMPs, that's 2 of the 3, make it now 1 of the 2 weapons that Fnatic had to work with. And down goes Crims. It's only Olaf, 1 versus 5. Gets 1, that's all he gets. It's overtime. Astralis forcing out yet another. Quick taps out toward the door and Boiler. To no avail. Device does sit back to see if they'll walk down the stairs. Fnatic, with it all to play for, will set smoke toward Arch, or will they? Dennis?
This will just be for map controls. They're smoking towards Arch. Try to push the CDs back, get them in that crossfire once again. You can see Device ready for it, so he'll fall back at this point. There's the smoke. Flash is coming as well. Fnatic don't have to come in at this point. They still have time to work with. They're taking the vision away from the CTs. You can see them actually edging back towards B, where Astralis famous have been playing 1 player on that side of the map. So this could work out for them. But unfortunately, there are 2 players. 1 boosted up as well. JW, he'll be sitting by middle by himself. He can actually go for the flanks and stop rotations coming in. So JW, although he's not with his teammates, he's instrumental in this tactic. Device waiting for him as well. All or nothing now for Fnatic.
All or nothing toward B with a wrap at Arch. Caught by Device. Reads it like a book. Perhaps they've used that tactic too many times. Xyp9x on the boost, ready for the 1 and done drop. Flush is going to go close. I'm not sure he'll be able to spot him, but he does line up 1. Damage as well to the other. As Flush sits on 11, it's 2 to find. And Astralis clutching themselves back to a game.
That's it.
Look at that from Device. Up above sees both 19-17. Astralis will survive the threat of Fnatic on Inferno.
A sigh of relief there from Glaive. How many rounds do they have to stretch?